What's up guys, back again. Today I'm going to be working on Kaz's car and installing some height sensors, so his Airlift system is now Airlift 3H instead of 3P. But first we got to take Randy's 240 out of the garage, so be right back. Alright guys, quick update. I got the front sensors mounted. If you're gonna mount the height sensors, what I recommend doing is taking off the arm. It makes it a little bit easier to bolt these self-tapping screws into the chassis, because it is very tight between here, so if you keep the arm on, it'll end up getting in your way and you don't want to break this arm. Also, I found that mounting it around this area and making a bracket to the sway bar down here is a really good place to position it. That way you get the full strut travel on the height sensor, because if you were to mount it onto a control arm, you may be limited to how much travel you'll get, versus when you mount it to the strut itself or at any spot where the strut travels that same length, then you'll get a very accurate reading on the height sensor. So the rears are finished. The way I did it was, as you can see, I mounted the sensor right here, the bag's over here on the left. I used the second hole and I connected it to the mounting point for the airbag. So I made a custom bracket and connected one end of the rod all the way up to here to the sensor. Second hole, and I can show you guys how I made the bracket really quick. So this is how I'm making the sensor. I drilled a big hole over there with this size drill bit. It's a pretty big one, but that's so that the lower mount bolt can go right through the bracket that I'm making. And then here I drilled 3 holes just in case I decide to switch the mounting points for the rod on the sensor. And basically I bought this little sheet metal at Home Depot. It's like 10 bucks and you get like a pretty decently long sheet. I think it's about 6 feet or even 4 feet. It's pretty bendable, so as long as you have like a little vise like I do right here, you can vise it to a little 2x4 and make bends pretty easily. You're gonna need an assorted set of drill bits to make these brackets. Probably a hammer, 2x4 vise, and a drill gun. Once you have those, you could probably make these brackets pretty quick. So I also have a Dremel that I use to make cuts. I don't use the Dremel to cut the bracket all the way. What I do is I make a little slit here and then I bend it and then snap it. So that's a little bit quicker than using the Dremel all the way through. So I'll show you guys right here. So now I could just go ahead and pull the rod up using my knee support here. Pull it up. As you can see, it bent right at the slit that I made. And then a little more force, I should be able to snap it. There it is, guys. I'll show you guys right now where I'm gonna mount it. This is a bracket that's going in the front. I already made 2 that I use in the rear. They look identical to this one. Sorry, it blurs up a little bit, but there you go. Alright guys, so I'm using a Dremel to shorten the rod right here. So I'll try and get some live action of that for you guys. Pretty flat, and it's not too pancaked, and you should be alright. Alright, so I got the rod shortened. These are gonna go in the fronts. Alright, so the rods are cut and shortened. I've already locked them in the position that I want. I recommend doing that as well to save time and also to, you know, prevent yourself from having to remove them, adjust them, remove them, adjust them. The way I have my front set up is to have this connected to the arm and this connected to the bracket. I recommend connecting the rod to the arm first while it's off the sensor. You'll save yourself a lot of time doing it this way instead of doing it on the car because there's limited space. So you can remove this arm with the 3 screws. Take that off, cut whatever you need to cut off this arm, like whatever you don't use, like if you don't use this hole, cut it off so it doesn't hit anything. Connect it to here, and then the bracket, I'm going to remove it and put it on here. That way I could just slap it on the car and it'll be less of a hassle. It'll be a smooth process versus trying to like wrench it like on the car. It's a pain in the ass. So hey guys, so the height sensor is mounted and it's all in. I basically had this removed, connected the rod to the arm here, and connected the bracket, the rod to the bracket here, and I took that as one and installed it. So I mounted it here, and then I mounted this one up here and put the 3 screws back in. That is a much better way to do it than to try and hold an Allen wrench here and a little 8mm and tighten it while it's on the car. So I hope this helps you guys out. That's the finished product. I will show you the travel and how it moves right now with the floor jack, just to show you guys that it does work. So here is the travel and how the arm moves with it. The jack is underneath. I'm gonna jack it up so you guys can see it.
So you look closely, you see like it has a green and yellow pros, right? So this has been recorded. This is electric color. Black with blue color.
So it's about midway.
It's a different color.
Still looks like it's
so we kind of jumped it up. They use FRS paint instead of the BI.
holding pretty good. And that's all the way up, guys. And it looks like it's at the max up point.
I mean, yeah, I guess if the car comes.
So really quick guys, I actually changed it up a little bit. Instead of having this bracket bend this way, I actually straightened it out and left a kink there to give it space from the sway bar. This way is a little bit better. It kind of has a more natural arm movement to it. So I recommend doing it this way, guys. Have a bracket connected to the bottom of the sway bar right there. You can make it straight, but I would kink it a little bit so it spaces it away from the sway bar so the back nut doesn't hit anything. And then there it is. Hope this helps, guys. Alright guys, I'm done for tonight. It's been a long day working on Kaz's whip, but I hope everything that I showed you guys on the height sensors and how to mount them, and a quick little process on how to save time, I hope that it was helpful to you guys. And if you guys get the courage to do an air installation on your own, I hope that you find this video helpful. So, and I hope it gives you the confidence to do so if you're one of those guys who want to work on your own car versus take it to a shop. So there it is. I'm gonna continue the car tomorrow. All the height sensors are mounted, so all I have to do now is run the wiring for the height sensors in the car and to the management block. Once I'm done with that, we're gonna do calibration, so you guys are gonna see that first thing tomorrow morning. Later guys, see you tomorrow. Good morning guys, just finished messing around in the crazy cart with Randy, so back to working on this bad boy. I don't know if you guys have seen Kaz's interior yet, but it's pretty fire. Alright, so all the height sensors are mounted. All that there's left to do now is run the height sensor lines, and we're good. I'm just gonna double check everything, make sure that everything is tight, and start calibrating. Alright guys, I'll show you real quick. I routed the height sensor lines up through this hole right here. and it kind of goes underneath the fuse box. I just kind of threw it in back that way underneath and found the hole. Ran it through the firewall. After running it through the firewall, you can just pop this off and all this trim off. Just pull it up, it'll come right off, and then you kind of like just tuck it in the trim of the carpet liner here and then back through here to get to the trunk. A cool technique I used to get the height sensor wires behind this was I taped it to a 3/8 airline and kind of fed it to the back and had a homie in the back retrieve it. So that's a really good way to do it. I kind of didn't film it while I was doing it, so I can't really show you, but that's how I did it. Alright guys, so I'm almost done with the installation. Right now it's calibrating the height sensors, so when it passes that, it means that I've finished and that it's all good. So I hope I pass. Let's pray. So now it's at the height control part. It's on the last thing to test, so movement calibration. Let's see. I think this is the part where it sets his presets. So hopefully we're good. Ghost riding. What do you think of the install, Kaz?
It's good, dude. Thanks, bro.
Yeah, no worries. Got you, dog. Hey, calibration successful. System is ready for use. Alright, Kaz, it's done.
Sick, bro.
You have height sensors now. Congrats.
Thanks, homie.
Yeah, no worries, G. Alright guys, I hope you liked this video. If you do, hit the like button. Also, don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you want to see more dope content. The installation was a success. I'm very happy with my work. It took me about a day, like probably 10 hours of work to do it, so I'm pretty stoked on it. If you haven't already, subscribe to Kaz's channel. He's gonna have some sick ass cinematics.
I'll be dropping a video soon.
Yeah, check it out. Kaz Hiroji, check him out. If you haven't checked out my website, go check it out. Cop a tea. I'll be having winter gear out very soon, guys. Thank you for watching. Catch you guys next time.